These are the plaintiffs Jada Grant and Ronell Ishmael. Jada says she and her boyfriend rented a room from the defendant, and the problems with her started immediately. She called the cops on them, kicked them out onto the street while she was pregnant, and now won't return their hard-earned rent money. They have no choice but to sue for the $1,216.56 they're owed, and they hope that judge will side with them today in this court. This is the defendant, Chantal. She says, out of the kindness of her heart, she let the plaintiffs live with her because they had no place to go. Big mistake. Ronell grabbed her by the throat, slammed her against the wall. She called the cops and got them thrown out. And now here they are. What a mess. She's accused of being heartless.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiffs rented a room from the defendant. Things got so bad, the defendant kicked the plaintiffs out while she was pregnant. But the defendant says she was more than kind. It's the case of Barefoot with no kitchen to stand in.
Thank you, Douglas. Jada Grant and Ronell Ishmael, you are suing Chantal. You've asked to be referred to only by your first name for $1,216.56 that you say you are out because she forced you to move. Tell me what happened.
Well, first, they got an apartment, right?
Okay. And how do you guys know each other?
Me and the defendant, the other one, that's sitting down in the chair.
The other one, does the other one have a name?
We have the same name.
Ronell?
Yeah, Ronell. So we were friends.
Okay.
They got an apartment. He called me asking if we would rent out one of the rooms because they were looking for somebody. They wanted somebody to rent out one of the rooms.
Okay.
So I told him, sure, we're looking for a place to go.
Okay, but hold on. So you're allowed to sublet?
It wasn't really a sublet. It was more of they were just staying until they could get on their feet.
Right.
And
were they paying money to do that?
They were staying at my house, yeah.
Were they paying money to stay at your house?
They paid here, there.
How much did they pay here, there?
They paid $250 the first month, I believe.
$350 every month thereafter?
The last 2 months that they was there.
Okay, so that's called rent, right? If they live there and they have to pay a set amount, isn't that rent?
I guess.
Now, according to you, what goes wrong that forces you to leave, quote unquote?
Well, one night, they were arguing amongst themselves. I don't know what they were arguing about. It's not my concern, not my business. He comes out the room saying my name, saying, Ronell, come in, let me talk to you. And then he says to me, she wants to know when I leave, because that's what they were arguing about apparently.
Because he was moving out. Or he talked about moving out. Okay.
It's a couple's argument. You know, he was probably talking about leaving or something.
She wants to know when I leave.
She wants to know when I leave, when are you guys going to leave? So then I said, huh? So I then said to both of them, because I was like, there's no reason why both of y'all are arguing and then trying to figure out when me and her are going to leave if one of you leave. It doesn't matter which one of y'all leave.
Okay, wrap it up. So you say I'm not going anywhere, and they say what?
Because I called the question ignorant. That's when
who'd you call ignorant?
The question, I said the question was ignorant.
The question was ignorant?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
I said the question was ignorant. So because I said the question was ignorant, she got mad.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason she got mad. So when she got mad, she got up, started cursing, yelling. I sat down next to him playing video games. So she then made she made a statement about my hand being in her face. I was nowhere near her at the point in time. I was sitting down. So I then said to her, how can my hand be in your face? If my hand was in your face, you would then be on the ground because that would mean that I physically touched you, which I didn't do. So then she thought that that was a threat. She thought I was saying, oh, I'm gonna punch you in your face. I didn't say that. She then went to the kitchen, got 2 big butcher knives, came back to my face. That's when she came home. At that point in time.
Oh, that must have been quite the surprise. You come home and someone has a butcher knife to your boyfriend's. Okay, what did she do with the butcher knife?
She was just talking with them, waving them around and stuff.
Benihana style?
Basically.
Okay. Go on.
So she comes, she sees what's going on. The first thing she did was grab my hand and try to pull me in the room and say, Ronell, what do you tell me on a regular basis? Don't pay attention to stupid people. That's what she said.
All this is so conducive to calming things down. Okay, now according to you, you have a very different story. According to you, he choked you?
So who's more abusive, landlords or tenants?
From my experience, I've seen landlords, to be honest. They've taken advantage of leases. They've tried to scum people out of money. And I don't know, as a tenant myself, I try to be respectful because I sign a lease and I try to follow that. So from
You gotta be tougher, you know? I mean, you get to get advantage of too much, it sounds like.
It seems like it, but I've been respectful.
Seems like it to me.
To my lease, and I've tried to be a good tenant, and landlords have been tough.
Wow. Going inside the courtroom.
Tell me what happened in your kitchen. Go ahead.
So I was in the kitchen. My brother-in-law is in the living room. And I'm at the sink. I'm moving the plates and stuff because I have a double sink. I'm moving the plates from one side to another. So now Jada comes behind me and is like, I need to use the sink. Who are you speaking to? I'm at the sink. I'm doing something. I'm not bothering you. She walks back. She goes and does whatever she does and comes right back behind me. I need to use the sink. All right. And I just said, when I'm done, you'll be able to use it. He comes barging out the room, screaming and raving, talking about, oh, are you dumb? You're screaming at my baby mother. Mind you, I never raised my voice. I was at this level the whole entire time.
What else does he say?
And, oh, you gonna stop talking to people like that and this, that, the third, and the other. Okay, whatever. I said, you know something? Excuse me, I'm going in my room. Good day. He stands in my way. I said, excuse me, I would like to go in my room. He stood in my way, and now I'm going over a bag that's on the side of my wall to pass around him, and he said I touched him, so he slammed me by my neck onto the wall.
Wait,
and my
so
brother-in-law
wait. Douglas,
Yes, ma'am.
front and center. Come on over here.
Sure.
Okay. You are you.
Yes.
Douglas is him.
Okay.
You're trying to get around him. He's standing in your way. What happens? You show me how
I went to pass around the bag, and he said I touched him. I never touched him.
I mean, we're trying to get past him, did you?
I went to pass over a bag.
Okay, so did your hands touch him while you were trying to pass over the bag? Okay, so you're trying to step over the bag.
I tried to step over the bag, and when I tried to step over the bag, he immediately grabbed me by my neck and slammed me into the wall.
He slammed you by the neck into the wall?
Yes, and my brother-in-law came in the kitchen and jumped on him.
Okay, go ahead and go back.
Okay, ma'am.
So your brother-in-law came in the kitchen and jumped on him, and then what happens?
And then he came home because as soon I was calling him, right, as soon I had my phone on my hip, so I was calling him as soon as it happened. And I'm like, yo, you gotta come get your friend. He gotta leave my house. I'm not dealing with this. He's not staying in my house. I have kids in my house. Are you serious? I had to change one of my locks. I had to make sure to call the cops and put a, against him. I'm not doing this.
A restraining order?
A harassment order against him because at that time, they told me that because I let him go after the situation with him choking me, that I was not able to get a restraining order. They said he'd have to do something else. But when he started texting my brother-in-law and harassing us, I did go to the cops again.
Okay, on that day that you say that he slammed you in the by the neck into the wall, do you deny having done that?
I most definitely do.
Were you present or were
Yes,
you
she
not
was.
present?
Yes, she was.
Actually, yes. I was the one, and she was the one at the sink. I went into the kitchen because I wanted to cook. I was hungry. Mind you, I was pregnant. So when I went to the sink and I said, excuse me, she said, you gotta wait. You gotta wait. I'm doing something. You see me doing something.
I know, but if you see her washing dishes, I'm just kind of curious. If I see somebody washing dishes, I don't say, stop what you're doing, I need the sink. I mean,
No. I needed to get under the cupboard because I needed to get my rice. I needed to cook.
So you just wanted her to stop a second so that you could reach under the cupboard.
Yeah, just to step aside so I could just reach in the cupboard and get my
please,
rice so I could
excuse
cook,
me,
right?
please.
And she said, you gotta wait. And then she started barking and she's like, oh, I don't know what your problem is. I'm like, listen, I'm not scared of you. That's when my boyfriend came in when he heard me said, I'm not scared of you. And then she started raving and angry and acting up. And I'm there, I'm like, you know what? I left my pot of rice and I went in the room because my boyfriend was coming in. And I said, it's okay. And then she started screaming at him, and that's when everything started happening.
Okay. You come after the fact?
I'm her husband. I was on my way home from work. I got a phone call from her. There was a whole bunch of screaming. She told me that he slammed her against the wall. He choked her and he slammed her against the wall. My little brother was present there. He also conferred that he also did that.
Okay.
So when I got home, I tried my best to, squashed the whole argument.
So what did you do? When
Yeah.
your wife tells you he slammed me up against the wall, I got a feeling there's not a lot of talking. I mean, that's kind of...
No,
I mean,
he's calm. He's level-headed.
He's calm? How calm could he be? What is he, on Quaaludes? My husband comes home and finds out somebody slammed his wife against a wall. There's not going to be a lot of talking.
Judge, I'm the rowdy one.
I'm in a position where I have to behave myself.
Why? You on parole, probation? You're a cop?
Personal matter.
All right. And then why did you end up leaving?
We ended up leaving because I came home on the Friday after that. I came home and there was some typed up letter on the door saying, "Oh, well, we're kicking you out because you're smoking and you're doing this and you're doing that." Nothing to do.
Do you have that letter?
She destroyed it.
Okay,
I tried
so
to get the
you
letter
end
back,
up,
she
so you
destroyed
decide
it.
to leave,
Where's the letter?
and you leave.
Yeah.
When did you leave?
We left that same Friday.
Okay,
That was
what
told
is
to
it
know.
you're suing for?
Okay, we're suing for the rent that all
You're suing for all the rent you ever paid while you were there.
Yes.
Why would they have to pay you back, or she have to pay you back the rent that you paid while you were there?
Because it wasn't our choice to go there. They asked us to come there, and we went there. So we wanted back all the money that we paid for rent, so we could go ahead and find another apartment.
Oh, I know why you want money. The same reason I want money, and he wants money, and that person wants money. My question is, you've come to court to sue. That means that they did something wrong, and they violated something, so they owe you that money. Like, why do they owe you back the rent that you paid? You lived there. You got something in return for that money. So why do they have to return your rent money? Just because you have a dispute with your landlord doesn't mean that your landlord has to return your rent money for the last 4 months. I don't understand your legal theory. The way it works is you're on a month-to-month, so you have 30 days, okay, to leave. So she tells you, you guys got to go, and then you guys go that day, which is fine. That may be the best thing for you, but why does that mean that she has to pay you for your storage fees or $100 in emotional distress, okay? I don't need to decide whether she's telling the truth about you shoving her with her neck against the wall. I don't need to decide if she's impossible to live with and she was sassing you first. I don't need to decide anything, because here's what happened. You were renting there, you moved out. You see her little letter on the thing and you move out. If instead of doing that, you had decided to stay there for a month, you could have, because she's got to give you 30 days notice. But if she just says to you, get out, and you get out, you got out. Nobody put a gun to your head. So if you get out, why would she have to pay for, first of all, back rent that you lived through, and then all these other charges? And the answer is she doesn't. So my verdict is for the defendant. Don't clap. Nobody's a winner here. Nobody's a winner here, okay?
So the plaintiffs lose their case here in court. Ms. Grant, Mr. Ishmael, you know what's interesting? Everybody seems so sweet testifying in court. You're so nice you couldn't do that. You're so sweet and nice. And she's so sweet and nice, and yet you're banging. There's all kinds of stuff going on. I don't think we really heard the full story here, did we?
We really didn't.
Well, there's a lot more to meet the eye in this case.
It's not that we chose.
You came off as being rather vicious. Are you a vicious guy?
Nah, I'm only angry at people if you...
Okay, all right. I just had to ask Scott. Well, you lost your case. You understand why you didn't get the money back, and that's it, okay? In the eyes of the law, it's over.
It's over.
Thank you very much. Okay, you must sign some documents. Now, here comes Chantal. You seem so sweet, too, so nice. Again, we didn't hear the full story, did we?
No, there's a lot missing, especially with her nearly setting my house on fire for the 3 months that she was there. She set my house on fire nearly twice.
See, I told you we didn't know the full story. This is unbelievable. Thank you very much. Okay, congratulations. In effect, you prevailed. All righty. Harvey, this is one of those great cases. What do you think?
I do think so, Doug. And by the way, the battery issue is relevant in criminal court, but this is not criminal court, and this is landlord-tenant.